Welcome to the show, where you'll learn how to invest in mortgage notes, the savvy real estate investor's secret weapon to create cash flow without tenants and property acquisitions for pennies on the dollar. My name is Robert Haitha, founder of Fixed Notes, and my mission is to make note investing ethical, profitable, and accessible for you. In every episode, we're democratizing the industry to put these powerful Wall Street assets into the hands of Main Street investors like you. So without further ado, let's get into this show where you're in good hands with my AI clone. Let's go. This program is for informational purposes only and should be independently verified before taking action. Now enjoy the show. This is episode 6, and today we're going to break down something foundational, the anatomy of a mortgage note. If you're new to the note space, or even if you've done a couple deals, this is one of those topics that will keep revealing new layers the deeper you go. Understanding what a mortgage note actually is and what makes it valuable is non-negotiable if you want to do this at scale. So, let's start simple. A mortgage note is just a promise to pay someone. It's a legal IOU between the borrower and the lender. And when you buy that note, you become the lender. The borrower has to make the payments according to the terms of the contract. The note itself outlines things like the loan amount, the interest rate, the payment schedule, and what happens if the borrower stops paying. Think of it like the terms of the deal. Now, a lot of people get this mixed up. The note is different from the mortgage. The note is the promise to pay, and the mortgage is what secures that promise with real estate. The mortgage or deed of trust, depending on the state, is what gives the lender the right to foreclose if the borrower defaults. So when you hear people talking about buying notes, they're actually buying a debt secured by real estate. And that's a big deal, because if things go south, you don't just have an IOU, you have a legal claim to the property. All right, so let's talk about the actual paperwork. When you purchase a mortgage note, you're not just grabbing one piece of paper and calling it a day. There are a few essential documents that come with it, and you need all of them to properly enforce or resell the note. First up is the note itself. That's the borrower's promise to pay, signed and dated, hopefully with clear terms. Then you've got the mortgage or deed of trust, which is recorded in county records and ties that note to a physical property. Next is the assignment of mortgage. That's how ownership is transferred from one party to another. Think of it like the deed for the note. It gets recorded publicly so the world knows you now have the legal right to collect. And then there's the allonge. This is a document attached to the note that literally says, pay to the order of, followed by your name or entity. Without a proper allonge, you might not have legal standing to enforce the note. All of that, the note, the mortgage, the assignment, and the allonge makes up what we call the collateral file. This is your receipt, your evidence, your ammunition if you ever have to go to court. Missing one of those pieces? That's a red flag. You either renegotiate the price or walk away. You wouldn't buy a rental without a deed, so don't buy a note without the right paper trail. Now, beyond the paperwork, every note tells a story. You've got to look at the payment history. Is the borrower current? Was there a time they were delinquent and then got back on track? That's called a reperforming note. Or maybe they haven't paid in years. That's a non-performer, and you're stepping in to resolve it. You also want to know the property's value, condition, and occupancy status. Is it owner-occupied, vacant, tenant-occupied? That affects everything from exit strategy to risk profile. Lien position matters too. Are you buying a first lien or a second? A first lien gives you more control, but usually costs more. Seconds are riskier, but they can be incredibly profitable if you know what you're doing. And of course, borrower credit and bankruptcy status come into play. A borrower in Active Chapter 13 is very different from someone who just ghosted the bank 5 years ago. One last thing, let's talk about ownership. Just because someone sends you a Dropbox link with scanned PDFs doesn't mean you own the note. To officially take ownership, you need the signed allonge and the recorded assignment of mortgage. Once that's done, you're the bank. You're entitled to collect payments, negotiate payoffs, or start legal if needed. And yes, that also means you're now responsible for keeping the loan compliant, so make sure your servicer knows what they're doing. So why does this matter? Because buying notes isn't just about passive income, it's about understanding leverage. It's about controlling real estate without owning it. and it's about solving real problems for homeowners who are stuck while still earning a strong return. If you don't understand the anatomy of a mortgage note, you're just gambling. But once you do, you've got the blueprint to make smart, repeatable decisions that compound over time. That's it for today. In the next episode, we're going to tackle one of the biggest mindset shifts in real estate investing: be the bank versus be the landlord. If you've ever dealt with tenants, toilets, or turnover, you already know the grind. But what if you could collect payments without managing the property? We'll compare both models, break down the risks, and show you how to level up from landlord to lender. Don't miss it. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and thank you to my trusty Rabah and the Fixed Notes team for putting together another episode. If you want to learn more and hang out with the real, not AI version of me, join our free school community at school.com/fixnotes. That's SKOOL.com/FIXNOTES. In the meantime, we'll see you in the next episode.